Hello, hello. What is up, guys? My name is Lindsay If you do not know me, I'm streaming this in several places, and I'm also recording this for my podcast. So, team, if you're wondering why I'm being so formal, that is why. But hi, guys. I wanted to talk to you because this is one of the most fun seasons in direct sales and network marketing, which is conference season. So your company might have already had your big annual conference. Like I know the Lavelle conference was back in April, the end of April, but I know lots of companies do their annual conference in the summertime. So I wanted to talk to you about getting the most out of your conference experience, some tips and tricks that I have learned from going to different conferences in the past, and kind of just how to take what you are learning and what you are being, what's the word, like surrounded by, and applying it not only to your business, but to your life after a conference. So let me preface this by saying I have been to 3 different company conferences. So I started off my network marketing career in Beachbody. So I've gone to two Beachbody conferences, one LuLaRoe conference. I think it was just one. And one Color Street conference in person. And then also lots of different virtual events or like smaller in-person events that weren't necessarily actual conferences, but the same sort of idea applies, especially to an in-person event. So the first thing that I will say is if it's not too late for your company, in person is 1 million times better than virtual will ever be. Like you can learn all of the pieces from virtual, and really you can learn all the virtual stuff on your own anyway by doing trainings like this one with all the different network marketing coaches and people who talk about network marketing and direct sales, but also through podcasts and YouTube videos and just the trainings that your company offers anyway. So really the sweet part of conference is the in-person component. I know, COVID and everything going on with this, in this year, and maybe you're a newer promoter or stylist, whatever your company calls them. And maybe it just wasn't in the cards for you that this year. That's totally cool. But I just want you to know in the back of your mind, when events start back up where you can go safely in person, my number one thing is to go in person. The other thing, some other things are, if you are working your business, sorry, I keep moving this. I'm like on my front porch because it's literally so nice out. It's like, I don't even know, 68 degrees or something. And I am loving this weather. We just got home from Hawaii. I wanted to say, well, it kind of was yesterday. It was like 3 a.m. yesterday. So, and it was super hot in Hawaii. So I'm like loving this 68 degree. I don't know what this is in July for Ohio weather. But anyway, back to conference and events. I just listened to Jessie Lee Ward's podcast, The People's Mentor, and she had something about, I think that the episode title was like, get them to events. And so this is her statistic, not mine, but her statistic was for every person you can get to an in-person event, again, virtual doesn't count, but an in-person event, you as a leader can count on making $1,000 profit from that person attending the event. Basically saying like that person is going to be using the techniques and like the buy-in for your company and your product to make themselves a better promoter. And so you will be profiting. So you can kind of look how many people from your team are attending your annual conference. And so if your goal is to make $60,000, I'm just using that because, well, I guess it's not even necessarily an easy number because it's by 1,000, but whatever. So if your goal is to make $60,000 from your business, technically you're going to want 60 people attending in person your event. So that's just like kind of like her rule of thumb. And I thought that was really interesting because I do think that there is definitely something to that because again, the people who are making the investment to attend in person, not only are making that investment and showing you that they're really serious about their business in that way, but also they're just going to have so much more buy-in from your company, the excitement, they're going to, leave conference excited and ready to do big things and push themselves even harder. So I just want to share with you my last conference experience that I had, which would have been 2019, because I'm not counting virtual stuff, for the purpose of this. So 2019, it was August. It was literally right before school started. So our school year started on Wednesday. I think I got home from conference on a Monday. And my one of my teammates that went down with me, Jomi, she actually had to go to school, take a personal day because her school year started the year before. So I know it was August. So we went. This was my first in-person, like actual big event, because we had at that time what we called regional trainings that were in person, and we could attend those. And that would be anywhere from 5 to, I don't know, 50 or 60 people in our area that were selling the same product we were selling. And those were nice. And I liked those. I liked getting to know other people through those. And it's an added layer of, I don't want to say security, but that's kind of the word that's coming to me right now. Because when you can have people on your team, yourself included, making connections with other people who are not necessarily on your team, but who are forming their support system, who are people that can be accountability partners in the future, who you can bounce ideas off of, who you can share frustrations with. You are adding, the more you can add to the support system of a teammate, your own support system in your company, the better. So there's only so much we can do as we are building our teams, especially if you have a smaller team. If you have a team of 2, 3, 4, 5 people, it can feel pretty lonely and isolating at some times, right? So the more that you can introduce those people and collaborate and kind of build like a circle of support around everyone, the longer those people are going to stay in the business, because they're going to feel connected. They're going to feel a part of something bigger. They're going to feel supported, and they're going to want to show up, not only for you as their sponsor, not only for their downline, but for other people as well, right? Because it's a big thing to, it's just those connections, relationship building and connections. So anyway, I'm getting off topic. This is what happens when I don't have notes. So I went to this conference in 2019. And I'm going to be honest, every company conference that I've gone to has been flippin' amazing. They have, and they were all completely different. The Beachbody one was in a giant NFL stadium. There were 100,000 people. The Color Street one that I went to 2 years ago, there was less than 10,000. I think there's less than 10,000. I think there's like 8,000 or something. I could be wrong about that number. It was like 5 or 8, I feel like. Anyway, you get the I mean, but they were both, to me, super amazing because, one, I loved my company. I believed in what I was promoting. And you have to have that belief. And if you don't have that belief, conference is a great time to find it again. I promise, because you're going to be surrounded by people and stories and, the company, and you're going to see the swag, and everything's going to be decorated, and you're going to be like, wow, this is legit. Like, all these people are earning these bonuses and are doing these things, and they're just normal people like me. And so, like I said, every conference I've been to has had different components. I mean, obviously the Beachbody one, we were doing workouts. They had like a massive arena. I'm not even kidding. A massive arena with swag in it, and you can go and buy it. I spent so much money in that freaking Beachbody store. Like, I had every single Beachbody shirt that you can imagine. And again, that was just like, that was part of my journey, and that's where I was at that time, and I loved it. So no matter what company you are in, you are going to love conference. Like, you're just going to love it. Like, the LuLaRoe one had a giant arena, but their arena had the clothes, different stations with the clothes, and one of them you were selling, and one of them you were seeing how things were made, and you were seeing new products, and like, you get the idea. So 2019, I went down a day early because it was in Orlando, and I wanted to go to Disney World. So I was traveling down by myself. My teammates, like I said, they were working already, and so they didn't get the days off work. So the people that I actually knew were already were coming later. And so I shared a room the first night with someone from the bigger team I was on. And her and I actually went to Disney and like met up with a group of people from our bigger team. We like started a thread of people going down early and met up. And some people that I knew literally just by name in our team group, we met up with, or I met up with rather, I was alone at that point, at the Columbus airport, and it was Southwest. So if you're familiar with flying Southwest, you don't have assigned seats or anything. And as extroverted as I might seem, I am just completely an introvert. Like I am completely fine with being alone, especially traveling, like, which is so funny because I travel with students all the time in the summer usually. And so like I'm never alone when I'm traveling. But I like to travel alone. I like to go to the bathroom when I want to go to the bathroom. I like to not have to. I mean, I'm just kind of, I guess maybe I'm selfish like that. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm still single. But anyway, so I showed up at the airport and these women were like, sit with us. We're going to save you a seat. We're going to do this. And I was like, what is happening? Which was super, super sweet of them. And it just kind of, it kickstarted just like a really fun week. So I met these women and they also wouldn't let me take an Uber to the hotel. They were like, oh no, come with us to get our rental car. And they weren't even staying at the hotel. They were staying in an Airbnb. And they're like, we're going to drop you off because it's like midnight. We can't have you taking Uber alone at midnight. And I'm like, girl, like, do you know how many foreign countries I've been in taking taxi cabs by myself alone? But that's really sweet. But anyway, they won. So I cram into this car with them. They drop me off. I go to Disney with a different group of people the next day. So fun. My first roommate came that night. And anyway, long story short, we get to the actual conference part. And to be honest, there was nothing any better about it than my Beachbody conference, than my LuLaRoe conference. But it's just where I was meant to be at that time. It was, the it's what I needed because I was seeing the company, I was seeing how they handled events, I was seeing these people in, like the leadership of the company, like our CEO and VP of sales and all of that. So I was seeing all of them doing things. And then also, you get to see all of your leaders in person, or the people, maybe they're not specifically your upline leader, but people that have been on your training calls, and you see in the top 50 list of top sellers, and you get to and kind of watch people. And so that's one of the things that I want to encourage you when you go to conference. It's a great time to connect with your teammates. There's definitely a place for that. But I also want you to observe and watch and really soak in what other people that you are not normally around or don't normally have an opportunity to interact with, what they are doing. And I think that was a big mindset, mental shift for me at last conference. Was I was watching these top leaders, the top in sales, they're earning the trips, they're the top ranks, they're all these things. And they were saying and doing things that either I already knew how to do or I was doing, but maybe I just wasn't doing consistently. Or maybe I would do for a week, or maybe I was doing during the summer and then using my job as an excuse not to do it during the school year. And that was a huge, huge thing for me to realize, like, okay, I can do this. I can do this regardless of whether my team wants to do this. I can do this regardless of whether my upline is supporting me to do this. I can do this no matter what. And that is something that I hope you take away from your conference experience, whether it is in person or whether it is virtual. I think it's harder to get that feeling from virtual. I could be wrong. I know I did not get that feeling from our virtual conference last year that we had. That was definitely something that was unique to my conference experience of being in person. So that's why I'm saying I really hope you get to an event that's where you can be surrounded by those kind of people, because that was a huge, it was just a game changer for my business. That's when I literally made the decision. They put up on the screen the qualifications for our incentive trip. And I made the decision. So I had earned an incentive trip with Beachbody. It got taken away from me because I was selling LuLaRoe. They changed their policies and procedures literally overnight, and it got taken away. I never earned it from LuLaRoe. I was literally $1,000 away from earning it the year I did LuLaRoe. So I was like determined, like I am going to earn this incentive trip. So they put it up there, and it was, I think it was enroll 4 people, sell at least, I think it was like $5,000 or $6,000 in nails, plus you needed to earn like 6 other points or something like that. But from the time they announced it to the end of the month, they were doing double points. I was like, this is it. This is how I'm gonna get it. I literally, like, I was with 3 other women from our team. We went up to my hotel room, and it was late. I mean, it was 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and I pulled my phone out, and I literally was like, okay, I am booking like 25 parties tonight. And I started messaging like my face off. And I earned it. I earned that trip like 2 months early. And I 100% owe it to being in person at conference, to being surrounded by the energy, but more than anything that I learned at a session, because I'm gonna be honest with you, this is like no shade or anything like that. I didn't even need any of the sessions at conference. Everything that is at a session at conference, I could have got from YouTube or a team training or a podcast. There was nothing that I learned at conference that was like, oh, that's such a great idea. I need to do that right now. There was nothing that changed my business that way. The thing that changed my business was being surrounded by the people, was seeing that I could 100% do what those people who were leading the sessions were doing. And again, just knowing that literally the only thing that I needed to do was show up consistently and do the things that my leaders were telling me to do. So, um, when my leaders were saying, I don't know what's an example, to connect with new people or to build a brand, I did it. And I listened to what they were saying, because one of the biggest things that I think that actually holds people back is not being coachable, which could be like a whole nother video. But there's a difference in learning all the things and sitting on them and allowing yourself to get uncomfortable, which it can be uncomfortable going to an in-person event and not knowing anyone and sitting down at a table of strangers, and everyone at that table knows each other but you. Okay, so it can be really uncomfortable, and my face hurt from smiling, and I definitely needed some decompressing time every night when we got back to the hotel room, because again, I'm an introvert. So being around people from 8 a.m. until 11 p.m. at night, and people are screaming and excited and like that can be a lot. But knowing yourself and knowing that, like, okay, I need my downtime or I'm gonna like rage on someone is really important. But also, not only getting uncomfortable, but again, being coachable, because learning all the things is great, but you have to then actually implement them and implement them with consistency. So, when I heard people saying do 8 parties a month, instead of being like, well, I could never do that. That's too many, or I only want to do 4. That's fine if you only want to do 4, but just know you are never going to get to the level that those people are at if you're not doing the things that they're telling you to do, if that makes sense. So, let's see if there's anything else about conference. So that's what I was getting at, is watch other people, almost to like the stalker status. Watch what other people are doing and take from the people that you want to be like. Because there were people at conference, and every conference that I went to, this is not just company specific, that were the top, but I didn't want to get to the top the way they did, or just the energy was not the same. Like I don't want to be that kind of person. Not like nothing bad at all, but just like that's not me. And so I want to encourage you to find the people that are kind of like you, that are doing the things that you want to do and getting the results that you want to do. And then you can mimic them, not copy them, not do the exact same thing, but do something similar or do what they're telling you to do, is how that they got there. Um, spend some time with your team, but maybe that's what before conference and after conference is for more than anything. Make new connections with people who are not on your team so that you can continue those relationships even outside of the conference time. Take all the notes, but also implement the things. So, I feel like almost every company does some sort of like giveaway, like whoever can, if we can book this many parties, if we can do this many sales, something will happen. Um, Use that to your advantage. And even if they don't offer something like that, you should be posting in your stories the whole conference time. If your conference is coming up, maybe you're doing a countdown in your stories every day to lead up to it, but show people your excitement, show your customers your excitement. Send out emails because I know you're emailing your list, not just about a sale, because we talk about that a lot. So send out an email to your customers and let them know, hey, conference is in a week. I'm super excited. Should I wear this dress or this dress? Something, to build relationships with your people, and share that experience, share that excitement with them all the way through your journey, just like you should be doing with your business all the time. Share it in your stories, share it in your private groups. If you have a private group, on your timeline, whatever that looks like for you. But share, 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 and make big goals. Make a big goal for the next conference. So, maybe you didn't get stage recognition this year. Maybe next year your goal is stage recognition. Set that goal. What do you have to do to get there? How much sales do you need? What does your how many people do you need to recruit or sponsor? Set those goals now and start acting on them while you're at conference. Before you go to bed or during your breaks, message some new people, make some new connections. But don't just learn at conference. I want you to implement the things that you're doing at conference while you're at conference and get that momentum going while you're there. Because otherwise you're going to get home and you're going to fall back into your same patterns. And those same patterns aren't the things that are going to get you to your end goal, right? You have to be doing new things, you have to be growing, you have to be coachable, because the team that got you to where you're at right now is not the team that's going to get you to your next level. It's a collective effort. You have to level up together. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. I hope that you are super excited for your next in-person event. I hope if you are doing a virtual event, mosquito. I hope if you're doing a virtual event, you get out as much as you can from like what I shared. Maybe your virtual event has an app and you can connect with some new people that way. I know the Color Shoot one does have an app, so you can connect with stylists that way. But really and truly, like I said, if you are taking advantage of podcasts and trainings and you're doing the things that are already provided for you from the company, the training probably will not be the thing that takes you to the next level. What's going to take you to the next level is the excitement, the determination to hit your goals, and seeing the people who are hitting them, what they're like, and hearing from them, being coachable, and then applying those things to your business and making it a determined effort for you to reach those goals. All right. Have an awesome 4th of July weekend. I was going to say it's the 4th of July, but yeah, almost July 2nd. Have a great weekend, a great holiday weekend. Get excited about your in-person events coming up. And friend, make it a priority for your business, the next in-person event that you can attend, that you're there. Like I said, things happened this time around. That's totally cool. But, make it a priority now. Go ahead and put a bug in someone's ear that you're going to need childcare next July or whatever, June, April. Next time that our blank conference comes around, I'm going to need you to watch my kids so I can get to this conference, right? So be planting those seeds and make it a priority now, and watch your business grow. I'm super excited for you. Have a great night. Bye-bye.